Welcome to all of you out there, dear astrology friends. First of all, thank you so much for getting in touch, for emailing me, for ordering readings, for saying what you want to say on my channel, and for sending likes and watching my video and sending it to other people. Anyway, I just wanted to say that before I start with the full moon in Capricorn reading. So yes, around about the 10th of July, we're going to have, as always, around this time of the year, we're having a full moon in Capricorn. And this is going to be now around at about 18 degrees. So the moon is going to be at 18 degrees of Capricorn, and it's going to oppose the sun at 18 degrees of Cancer. What is this all about in general? And then very quickly for the signs, in what kind of area this is happening, this energy. Now, always, this is about a restoration and a culmination between home, family, and work. Always the work-life balance is very much shown in a very conscious way when we have these full moons in Capricorn. The general energy. And it's all about the moon is in Capricorn, so we want to be involved with our responsibilities, with our duties, with our work that we do, versus putting energy there, versus our responsibility towards family, responsibility towards the people we want to nurture in life. And don't forget that Jupiter is there in the sign of Cancer. And before this moon becomes full, which is around 18 degrees of Capricorn, it's first going to jump into Jupiter. And Jupiter will be around 7 degrees of Cancer. So, and of course, even before that, the moon will make a square to Saturn, Neptune. What I'm trying to say here is that although this is a beautiful full moon, because of the trine to Mars, which I'm going to talk about in a minute, you could say the energy just before the full moon is a bit tense. It's a bit tense because it kind of awakens that square of Jupiter Saturn, Jupiter square Saturn, Jupiter square Neptune. Now, what does it mean to say is that we are remembered again of a dream that we want to make true. Because that is what this is all about. And to not see it too big and too blind, which is Jupiter and Neptune, they tend to go a little bit overboard. And which is also not to see it too dark and too serious, which is Saturn, to find that balance. So certainly this full moon, although it will show us a lot about our work, the work that we do. Do we work too much, or do we relax too much do we care too much for the family and neglect our work? Whatever it is for you, we will restore this balance in some way because of this opposition. And don't forget that full moons always give information. They give information that become very conscious. That's what a full moon is all about. So, although, as I said, this square is going on before the full moon, we have a beautiful trine of Mars in Virgo. So what we call Mars trine the moon aspect. And Mars will be around about 13 degrees of Virgo, also a fellow earth sign, just like Capricorn. So the moon will approach then 13 degrees, and it will trine this beautiful Mars in Virgo and then oppose the sun. What this shows is Moon and Mars in a trine is fantastic, because this shows that what we feel emotionally, we put into action easily, and we are driven, Mars, by our emotions, the moon. In what way we are doing this is very earthly, because Mars is in Virgo, so Mars wants to start small but surely. So it wants to do stuff, and it wants to be very practical, but also very result-oriented. It's a beautiful trine. So in other words, there might be in the beginning a little bit of a fight between dream, Jupiter, Neptune, and between reality, Saturn. But once, what is going to help us is taking little steps, which is Mars in Virgo. It starts small, and every single day doing a step, and before you know it, you've got your goal. You've got the dream come true. That's the spirit of this full moon, and I really, really like this spirit of the full moon because it's a very earthly one. So a lot is going to be about work, about money. I mean, in general, because these are earth signs, and it's a good time. It's a good time to think about money, to think about work and how to improve it and how to get it into balance as we want it, and how to take little steps when we want to change it, because Mars is drive and wants to do new stuff. Now, talking about new stuff, very often if we want to do new stuff, old stuff needs to go, right? And this Mars in Virgo is not just Mars in Virgo. It is Mars that is approaching a conjunction to the South Node in Virgo. So what does it mean? It means a stepping away from, you could say, the downside of Virgo and the not so good side of Virgo, the pitfall of Virgo, you could say, or in other words, the old ways of doing things that are no longer serving us. And of course, that's going to be different for everyone. But for a person, one person, it could mean, so Mars is doing, the South Node is stepping away from it. So for one person to have this beautiful balance between, work-life balance, it could mean working less. So Mars in Virgo with the South Node in Virgo, it's stepping away, instead of working 80 hours a week, maybe working 40 hours a week. So it's stepping back. For other people, it could mean be a little bit less critical, be a little bit less judgmental, which is also a downside, or I'm not going to say every Virgo is like that, but it's a pitfall for the Virgo, because, criticizing something that is out of your control is not really, it's not really fun for anyone. And in the first place, not for you as well. Now, on another level, Virgo is being so focused to a tiny little detail that you forget all the rest, and that you get like a little bit of a tunnel vision and a little bit of rigidity there. So it could be that as well. Whatever it is for you, it's a stepping aside of doing something that you used to do that is no longer working for you, and doing something new, something more of a bit of a spiritual way, because Mars conjunct South Node is a very spiritual way of using your Mars. If someone has this in a natal chart, Mars conjunct South Node, you know that they were in a former life some sort of a soldier. In Virgo, it's a bit of a, you could say, communicative soldier, right? So it can also be not being as sharp with your tongue, right? And doing things a little bit differently, and putting your ego a little bit aside, because not fighting all of the time. That is what people with Mars conjunct South Node spiritually have as a task. It's like doing less of that chasing and of that, that fighting, and because that's something that you already can do, and stepping a little bit aside, where the North Node is in Pisces, let go and let God. Okay, use this information, of course, with a good sense of, with good senses, let's put it that way, because people can use this information like, okay, so you're saying I don't have to do anything, I'm sitting back. And no, it's taking accountability, responsibility, and knowing when you go too far. So this is really an adjustment. For a lot of people, this is going to be like an old job that they're going to leave and going for a new one. That's going to be for a lot of people. It can also mean a certain way that we do things, and that is destructive for us and not working in our favor, that we let go of it. Because this is a beautiful trine to Mars in Virgo, we definitely have immediately a new oomph, so to speak, because of this emotional push of the moon the moon trining this Mars, of a new way that we want to take that is very different that we are used to. And of course, very broadly, this full moon squares Chiron as well. So there's a healing element here that we are having. Meanwhile, what else is going on? Well, Venus is approaching a square to Mars, so we have to be careful that we are not taking too much and we are not giving too much. So also there's going to be a restoration of the balance. So pretty interesting. Don't forget that also when this full moon of Capricorn, it makes the moon in Capricorn makes a sextile to the sun in Cancer. So it's pretty a good full moon in overall, if we take into account these things that I just mentioned. Now, let's get into the sounds. I don't want to make this video way too long. At what is the area of our life I'm going to look at? Where do we have this full moon, but also the trine to Mars? So where is this action going on for us? For Aries, this is definitely has to do with career. If you have a career, if not, this has to do with how you present yourself in the world, or even a relationship with a parent. That there is something coming to fruition. There is something that is really becoming very conscious. We are becoming very conscious of it. And Mars in the 6th means a shift in lifestyle, doing something different in a lifestyle, which can mean, so yes, the full moon is in the 10th house of parents and of work. There is like a culmination there, but it prompts us into actions, Mars in the 6th. So for a lot of you Aries people, this is going to be a new job that you're going for. With Mars in the 6th, you're going for something new. And this goes fairly easy. For others, it's going to be a relationship with a parent. And this is focusing on your own lifestyle and on your own way of doing things and on your own habits and on your own health, and to improve that. So, but all in all, very beautiful to kind of shift the balance between home and work, because of course the 10th house opposes the 4th house. There is a restoration going on. For some it will mean less work, for some it will mean more work. So off you go. Taurians, this is a very beautiful full moon for you, because you make what we call in astrology a grand earth trine. So because it is earth, it's happening in your 9th house. So there is like some belief system becomes very clear for you. And I mean a belief system that helps you to see the world. And it trines this Mars in your 5th house. So you're getting active when it comes to doing new things that give you joy in life. And whether that is a hobby, a project, you want to do something that has to do with your children, there is a lot of growth here. Also travel, there could be something becoming very clear whilst you're traveling. If you are a student, this could mean, the culmination of all of this and showing where you're heading, and planning also to be creative and to do the stuff that your heart wants to do, so to speak. But very beautiful to do anything that has to do also with different cultures, travel. If you are, for instance, a teacher, or you have to do something like speaking or anything, this could be the culmination of all of that. And there's something bigger growing for sure for you. Geminis, this is happening in the 8th house, and it's the full moon, and it's trining Mars in the 4th house. So these are the water houses. This is about, the 8th house is a money house, so the money that you share with a partner, business partner, or romantic partner. It's also the money that you get from other people. It's inheritances, it's tax returns, it's investments that you did. And the 4th house with a trine with Mars to it can mean that you're moving, you're renovating, and it goes quite fluently. And there is like this restoration of the balance between what you want, what you need, what you value, and what another person values. And there's like this restoration going on for you. On another level, if you say nothing financial here is happening, it's on an emotional level, that there is a breakthrough of some sorts when it comes to your understanding of your own psyche, and therefore you feel emotionally more driven, you feel emotionally more content and more safe to do actions that has to do with your environment and the where you live, and maybe also working from home. Cancerians, the whole intro is for you when it comes to relationships and how you want to improve them, because it's your opposite sign. So the sun is in your sign and that full moon happens in your seventh house. This is relationships. This is the result that you're going to see of many, many weeks of investing in a specific relationship. Whether you are single or not, you see the fruition here of what you've done in the past. And whatever it is, for better or for worse, you've got this beautiful trine with Mars in the third house. So you're going to be very, very busy, very active. You could take a short trip, because that's going to help you in kind of restoring this energy between you and the other, because there's an emphasis on another person. Whether you are single or not, it's even your attitude in relationships. There needs to be done some sort of a restoration, and that could be activated here by this full moon for sure. Maybe that other person is saying, this is what I feel, the moon in the seventh house, and you either like it or you don't. It's a very kind of black and white energy, but the thing is that you've got this beautiful trine with Mars in the third house. So you are very active in your communication, and you're also very active in taking steps for maybe a short trip, maybe learning something new. Leos, this is happening in your sixth house, this full moon, of your day-to-day life, your health, your lifestyle, your work, your day-to-day work. Something becomes very, very obvious here. And this is trining Mars in the second house. So for a lot of you, this is going to be work. For those of you who work, this is definitely you wanting a new work, doing a new work, and Mars in the second is hustling for the money and you getting more money out of this new job or a new project. If you say, no, Veerle, I'm not working anymore, or I don't work, this has to do more with your values and with your lifestyle, your routines that you're doing. And there's some sort of a Mars in the second house is working on your talents, working on your value, on your own value. And this is improving because you're doing maybe a better lifestyle element of some sort, which could be maybe you're working out now for a couple of weeks and you're really seeing the fruits of that. You're taking care of your health in a better way, and you're seeing the proof of that, right? Or maybe you were ill and you were in the hospital. This is just an example, by the way. You were in the hospital, the 12th, represented by the 12th house, and now you are healed. And this gives you, again, a very good feeling, and off you go. Virgos, this is happening in your fifth house. Virgo, you are a fellow earth sign. So for you, this is a very good full moon for you. And it's situated in your fifth house, and it trines Mars in the first. So this means definitely something here comes to the light when it comes to your creative endeavors, how you enjoy yourself, how you want to live in a way with the heart, so to speak. Your heart chakra can also mean a romance, it comes to fruition here. There's something that becomes very clear to you. This opposition between you, your feelings, your creative feelings, versus the 11th house, your goals and your friends. So the fact that this all trines Mars in your first house gives you that energy boost to start something new. So for a lot of you, this could mean starting a new project, starting a new business, or you just started it and now off you go. You are taking those steps. You are taking these new things. Can also mean when you have children, for instance, that they have a certain result made in their life. Maybe it has to do with exams or they are going places, and that has a knock-on effect on you. Maybe your child, they're leaving the house, and you say, okay, Mars in the first house, I'm going to do these new things that I love to do. And you're getting very, very active. Whatever it is for you, you are just like the Taurians, one of those signs that are really, really in favor of this energy for sure. Can also mean you taking a little bit more risk now with Mars in the first house, trining that fifth house of risk taking, but you're doing it very slowly and surely so that you feel secure. Librans, this is happening in the fourth house, the core of your horoscope. And this is, of course, a lot of tension for you. Why? Because this is a fellow cardinal signs, right? Libra is a cardinal sign. So is Capricorn and Cancer. Particularly when you have planets around 18 degrees, you will really, really feel this. But what it is this culmination of emotions. So it's a bit of an emotional time for you with this full moon in the fourth house. But it's there in a trine to Mars in the 12th. So although there might be a very big necessity to restore the balance between home life and work life, so that could be like you work too much, or you work too little, too little money is coming in, or you need to restore of some sorts. Whatever it is that you're doing, this is helping you to connect with the tackling of the blind spots in your life, because this is trining Mars in the 12th house, which is beautiful, which shows that you're really tackling those energies of self-destructive tendencies and so on. So very emotional, you could say, but also at the same time very spiritual, and showing you that emotional maturity, emotional contentment is very, very important. Scorpios, this is in your third house. This is nice energy. It sextiles the full moon, sextiles your energy, and of course the sun is trining your energy. So you're one of those signs who have it easier with this, and actually pretty good with this energy. The third house is revealing something in your day-to-day life that has to do with communication, that has to do with a short trip, that has to do with something learning, or you teaching others, or if you have your own business, this is a PR house, so maybe you are really shifting something there, and restoring, you could say, the balance between your logical mind and the more spiritual, abstract mind. This is all trining Mars in the 11th. So this is amazing, because you could be starting here and initiating something that you do with your friends, or if you do social media, it's definitely a good time to launch something here, because you're driven by emotions, you're driven by doing this very, very very good and very to the detail. And so all in all, a very busy social time, networking time, working on goals and getting them. Sagittarians, this is in your second house of your finances and your value. So, and it trines the Mars in the 10th house. So for a lot of people, for you, the people who work, this is about your work. This is about, with Mars and the South Node there in the 10th house, it's about, you might leave a certain job, you might leave a certain way of doing things. Maybe you're doing too much and you kind of lean back a little bit more, or the opposite. And it trines that full moon in the second house of your money in Capricorn. So something becomes very clear between your financial situation and definitely also the finances that you share with other people, if you do so, because it's an opposition. So there, and don't forget, Jupiter, your ruler, is in that 8th house. You want to expand, you want to grow, and there is in the future definitely money coming in for you from other people. So that might be a restoration now, that maybe in the beginning, as we go towards that full moon in the beginning, that there is a bit of a shift that you have to go through, of expenses and of how you're going to do it. But after this full moon, it's definitely about making this a better thing and making alles oké daar? Ja, oké. Hallo? Hello, hello? No, sorry for that. It was nothing, apparently. And that was for restoring this energy. So it's all about a better financial situation where you're going towards, and it's a bit less your own money and a bit more other people's money and investments as well. And of course, with that Saturn, Neptune there in the fifth house, it's also um, risk-taking energies like stocks, and you might do more investments in that area of your life and do that very, very conscious and very, very without any risk, but you know what the risk is. And if it does, you are prepared for that. So anything that has to do with investments, with inheritances, with tax returns, it can be for in the longer run for a very, very big expansion there. And this is like the preparation that you're doing. So good for you. Capricorns, this is of course your full moon. The whole intro is for you. So something becomes clear with you and the relationship. So if you're not in a relationship, it's you and other people, how you present yourself to others. And it's clear that there has to be, a restoration. So either you have given too much away or you have taken too much in a certain relationship. Whatever it is, there's a restoration, but there's a beautiful trine with Mars in the ninth. So your mindset, your belief system, you work with it in a very active way and in a new way. So an old belief system is going here. Remember, Mars with the South Node, it doesn't work anymore for you, but that means a new insight, maybe a travel if you can, a new insight, a new teaching, you teaching others, or you're learning something new. But whatever it is, it's helping you to change your life path. Remember, the first house is your life path. So it's your partners and it's your work, it's everything. So things become very clear, make use of that clarity so that you can take action accordingly. And the best action is here in shifting your belief systems. Aquarians, this is happening in your 12th house. This is a very much behind the scenes kind of full moon. So there is like something becoming very clear that has to do with your subconscious. And that's always interesting when we want to grow. If you want to put your head in the sand, it's not so interesting because it's also the house of self-undoing. But I think when you believe in astrology, or you're looking at this little video here, I think there is a part of you definitely that wants to grow. So this is a time of releasing for you. If you can go to faraway places and so that you can relax and that you can restore your health, your mental health, your physical health, and that you could go with this beautiful trine to the 8th house where Mars is, to really tackle also fears that are imaginative, that are fierce to tackle them, fierce to work with them as well. And when you're doing that, you're growing tremendously. So this is all work behind the scenes. People are not going to see that you're doing so much inner work, but this is shadow work that you're doing. So in the beginning, this full moon, and definitely around the 9th, the 10th, and the approaching of this full moon might feel a tiny little bit stressful there, because when it comes to your logical thinking, Saturn, Neptune there, it really is between positive thinking in abundance, and thinking in scarcity, and finding that that positivity again. But when you do, you're certainly ready to release old patterns of yours, old escape patterns that you're saying goodbye to. Last but not least, Pisceans, this is beautiful because it's a sextile, the full moon in Capricorn to you, and it's a trine to the Cancerian energy. Very beautiful in your 11th house. So here there's something that comes to fruition when it comes to your friends and when it comes to your goals. So there could be a gathering of friends, or you have organized something, networking, you getting together with friends, whatever it is very beautiful. And you have that restoration between the time you spend with your friends and the time you spend with your own creativity and how you want to present yourself. This is trining Mars in your 7th house. So it could be, you're one of these signs that it could be like a friend becomes a little bit more than a friend. And Mars in the 7th, or if that is not the fact, you could, for instance, do some activity with a friend, like travel or going away with a friend with Mars in the 7th house, that you take some actions that you love to do, that was one of your goals. And now it comes to fruition, whether it is a project that you're going to do together, or where, as I said, whether it's something really down to earth as well. So it could also mean like you both making money together with doing a project and enjoying that. Whatever it is, it's a very social time for you. So make sure you're going out around that time, and that you're enjoying the time with your friends, and so that you can relate to them, communicate to them, the like-mindedness that you both have, that you have with these people, that that you connect with. On another level, if you have your own business, the 11th house is also a money house. So you could be, something comes to fruition with a business partner, with new clients, and or you having a new plan, a new objective, and it comes very clear. And off you go, you get more clients, and the clients, they are a bit more Mars-like, they know what they want, and that goes very well with your ideas as well. Anyway, thank you so much. Thank you so much for watching. I wish you all the best with this full moon in Capricorn. And till next time, bye-bye.